Scott Golden and the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel and the @POPerception Twitter account. Today we're going to talk about be prepared. Being prepared is one of the most important things that a person can do in order to achieve their goals. But what is true preparation? Preparation is the storage of the belief that you are capable of handling whatever is in front of you. It's the study of things that you haven't yet learned, but also the ability to understand that to be prepared is truly to also confront your fears. The fears of the past, the fears of the things you have yet to do, the fears of the things that you don't think you can do. Confront anxiety, confront frustration, confront the knowledge that who you are is not defined by what you have done, but what you continue to do and who you continue to become. Being prepared means being willing to be flexible in the methods under which you get things done, but committed to your goals, committed to your aspirations. Athletes must train on a consistent basis. Those who train the most are those who often are the most successful because they understand that repetition is the method of progress, and progress leads to success and fulfillment. So if you are struggling in what is not going the way you want it to go, you must wonder, how prepared am I? When you confront the fears of the things that you do not believe you can handle, you will also then confront the belief that you are more than capable of handling whatever is in front of you. When you have the belief that you can confront the unknown, then any fear, domination, doubt, frustration, anxiety, discomfort, or any other negative emotion that would take you away from being the best version of yourself possible will be eliminated, if not reduced. And the reduction of those emotional state and that emotional state continuing to be reduced is one of the most important things you can do for yourself at any given moment. It's not being prepared through study of books, it's being prepared through study of people and situations. The more of an observer you're willing to become, the easier it is for you to respond and react to whatever's in front of you. If you study people and behavioral patterns, you will learn how to become indirectly a practical psychologist so that you can protect yourself from any negative emotional consequence, or at least reduce the impact of that negative emotional consequence that you don't want to face. When you are prepared, you begin to understand that all things are possible, and it is your reaction that creates your reality. It's not what happens to you, but it's what you do with it that will create your power or lack thereof. And so when you choose to be prepared, what you're really saying is, whatever life throws at me, I believe that I have the ability to recover, to respond, to react in an accordance with a progressive manner. The reason we call what we do here the Progress Tribe is that progress is the key to happiness. It is the key to success. It is the key to all that you will eventually want to be, do, and become. Because if life isn't progressing, then eventually there's a part of you that's dying. Maybe it's your ambition, maybe it's your happiness, maybe it's your health, maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's your money, maybe it's the belief you have that you can make a difference, but something is dying if things aren't where they need to be. You know, most often being progressive in business means being ahead of the trends, being ahead of that which is necessary for you to grow and go, and that is the reality of what is here. If you chart the trends of what is happening with other people, if you chart the trends of what is happening with other individuals, then you can begin to see where the growth is happening. If you always stay ahead of what's there, if you always stay ahead of what's going, then it is in that moment that you begin to have the realities of being able to embrace your present moment, and being able to embrace your complete potential, full potential, and the things that you desire to do. When you choose to be prepared, what you're really doing is setting yourself up for success, and also setting yourself up to be reactive and responsive rather than emotional. Now, emotions have their places. Their emotions have their opportunities. Emotions have their their uses, but they do not, and here's the thing, they do not have the ability to create progress for you as you are going. Instead, you can focus upon that which um, you going in a direction of progress means that you must be willing to do more than you've ever done. Be prepared to expand your limitations. Prepared to expand your mind. As I mentioned earlier, an athlete, and I have many clients in my coaching practice who are professional athletes. These are individuals who have to push themselves beyond what they're comfortable with at any given moment. They have to push themselves beyond what they are comfortable with in any given day. And what happens is they begin to understand that they must be prepared to go beyond what they think they can do, to believe beyond what they think they can achieve, to get to a place within themselves where the impossible becomes possible. And what creates that is a relationship that these individuals have with the ability to respond to the unknown, to the unseen, to the unexpected. You see, life is a series of experiences. It is a series of experiences that have everything to do with growth and contribution. When you are out to contribute, when you are out to continue your growth, when you are out to make that major difference, you no longer are worried about what might happen. You're more worried about, can I be ready? You see, every individual has the ability to respond appropriately to any circumstance, but it is only in the belief of the ability to respond that a person can truly be ready for anything. It doesn't mean that you have to necessarily like the circumstances you're in, but those who believe that they are capable of responding to traumatic experiences are those who are most successful in life. What would you do? Just a few questions for you. If you were to lose every dime you'd ever made, if you were to lose your house today, if you were to be struck with a unexpected terminal illness, if you were to be struck with the loss of a family member, a friend, or somebody that's meaningful to you, what would you do? You see, these are things that people don't often like to think about. These are things that it's uncomfortable to consider because we don't want to confront the negative circumstances. But here's the deal. The more you are willing to confront what you're capable of doing in an uncomfortable circumstance, the more likely you will be able to respond appropriately should that circumstance ever arise. Now, obviously, we hope that nothing bad ever happens to you, but we also know that nearly every person has gone through an unexpected experience or two. So when you are prepared, you think about these things and you have within your mind, even if it's only for 15, 30 seconds, an idea, a concept of what you would do. When you have that, if the circumstance were to arise, then you also would have the ability to grow and go in a direction that will give you the responsiveness in a split second to create the answers. Think of it like an emergency responder. Emergency responders most often have to be able to think on their feet. They have to be prepared for any circumstance. That does not mean that they have every answer, but it is that they believe that the answers are within themselves. The more you study, the more you are willing to grow and go, the more you are capable of getting to a positive space within yourself, the more you are capable of knowing what is coming, the more you are capable of understanding yourself, the easier it becomes for you to understand that you must be willing to study. Study those not who you admire, but those who have done what you haven't done yet. Study people who have overcome really difficult circumstances, and you'll find a few basic things. Number one, they have faith and belief in their ability to be responsive. Number two, they most often have a belief system that indicates there's a power higher than themselves, even if they don't call it a deity. There's something greater than themselves that they are looking at. Number three, these individuals have a compelling why, a reason that they are about to do what it is that they think they cannot. They have the ability to believe that the why that is motivating them is enough to move them from a place of paralyzing fear and doubt into a place of complete and total reality. Number four, these individuals believe that they have a purpose for their life that is greater than they understand in the given moment. They are looking towards the future as something that is ahead of them to be created, not behind them, or in some way greater days were in the past than are in the present or yet to come. Number 5, these individuals are prepared because they understand the impact they want to make upon the world. If you don't have a reason for the impact you want to make, and it's not to be contrary, but here's the thing. Your family can't be a reason unless you're emotionally attached to them. Your relationship can't be a reason unless you feel it's fulfilled. So don't say because this is what I should do. Because here's the thing. You'll should all over yourself the majority of your life if your should isn't something that you have passion and progress within. So don't live a life based on what other people's rules are. Live a life to be prepared to always expand that which is. I tell people all the time, live on the edge of every moment is a new beginning, but every moment could be the end. When you live on that edge, you are not afraid to take risks. You're not afraid to make a decision. You're not afraid to take a phone call or to have a conversation because you understand the fragility of life, which is the same in every moment, whether we realize it or not. So many of us live as though we have 1,000,000 years to figure it out, but in reality, the best of us will live 100 years. And that's just a drop in the bucket to the history that we've experienced as a human race and as a humankind. You must begin to understand that to be prepared is also the acceptance, and here's a hard one for lots of people, that what you believe a person is or a situation is isn't always what it is. While you don't want to awfulize and make it worse than it is, you do not want to be Pollyanna and make it better than it is. If it's not contributing to your progress, then it's robbing you of your joy, and you should focus on, or I'll go back and change that. It is beneficial and progressive for you to focus on that which makes you feel good, is positive and gives you emotions that are positive, gives you progress, and does harm to none. Because that is the way under which we are meant to live. It's the PPH method, which I work with clients all over the world on. Is it positive? In other words, do I feel good, and am I able to connect with the other P, which is progression? Does the action I'm about to take, does it lead me to a progressive place? And then the third, does it do me any harm, or does it do harm to anyone around me? See, here's the reality. We were created as a race to be able to contribute to each other. We were created for the unity of all that is. But when we look away from unity, when we look away from having rules and regulations and qualifications of what makes a successful person that is defined by accomplishment rather than showing up, rather than awareness, rather than present moment mindedness, it is then that we distance ourselves from who we truly are. You see, in every moment, every person, 7.5 billion of us can make a difference. But few of us will, because we'll give ourselves excuses through limitations that say we don't have to. It's not ours to do. It's somebody else's, somebody with more political power, someone with more money, someone with more influence, someone with more time, someone with more. Well, if everyone expects someone else with more to come along, then nothing gets done. It is on you to be prepared to be of service, partially because it will help others, but also, here's a secret. If you want to be successful in life, get selfish. Get selfish about helping others, because when you are selfish about helping others, you get the benefit of helping them, but you also get the benefit of making a difference in the world, which will make you feel good. When you feel good, you're better able to do good things. You're better able to come up with good ideas because your brain chemistry is modified and motivated by how you feel. So if you're constantly able to do things for others, feel good, and make progress towards your goals, dreams, and aspirations through the act of being in service, not out of balance with taking care of yourself, but within balance of realizing that when you invest in you as much as you invest in others, you will always find that progress is your friend, that progress is your partner in this life. I encourage you, this is Scott Golden, Golden Opportunities Coaching. In the About Me section of this YouTube channel, you can find all my contact information for I as well as my team. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one, we can certainly make that happen. Also, I'm going to put out 2 challenges. Number 1, we're just under a third of the way to the 100 subscriber drive. When we do that, we're giving away a $350 monthly coaching package with me one-on-one, So the more you share, the more we can get this. And I'm challenging you as members of the Progress Tribe. Let's 30x this YouTube channel. What I want to do with that is everybody that's listening to this right now, wherever does, just tell one person about this channel and the work we do here for a month straight. 30 people. That's all I want you to do. We could make a difference for world progress through this work if we all show up and do it. I encourage you, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.